Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Eman, and today we're going to review Doctor Strange. Let's get into a quick intro. Neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange gets into a horrible accident, damaging his hands, and he's gonna have to go on a very interesting spiritual journey to learn about himself and the mystic arts. But enough of that, let's get straight into the good.
The good.
Well, let's just get this out the way right now. The 3D visual effects were amazing. You've got to literally see this to believe it. Yes, exactly what you see in the trailer is what you're gonna get, except way more. This was like Inception times 10. What I actually like is the fact that the 3D special effects didn't feel cheap, and they didn't feel like a money grab just to make you spend a couple extra bucks. I actually really also appreciated the fact that you get some of those psychedelic special effects and everything, but they didn't go too far with it and make it a little too trippy, you know, like you were tripping on acid or something. Hey kids, drugs are bad, stay in school. I personally like Benedict Cumberbatch's role in this film. I thought he portrayed Dr. Stephen Strange very well. He was supposed to be arrogant and cocky, kind of similar to Tony Stark in Iron Man, and you know what? He nailed it. Both him and Rachel McAdams share a lot of fun and witty banter together, which gives the movie a little bit lighter mood. And something else I did appreciate about Rachel McAdams' character is the fact that she wasn't just a helpless damsel in distress. Matter of fact, she was more like you and me, just acting exactly the way we might if we were in her position. Now, surprisingly, Doctor Strange had way more comedy in it than I initially expected. More specifically, there was more physical comedy as well, and you'll know it when you see it. And besides that, there were plenty of jokes and humorous comments that basically will get a nice chuckle or a couple laughs out of you during the whole film. Now, another thing that actually caught me off guard was Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One. Now, I'm not gonna get into the whole little whitewashing Hollywood controversy behind it. I was a little dubious about the character itself because I thought they were gonna do a little bit too much with it. But honestly, I was really interested in her backstory in terms of like how she became the Ancient One, what she had to do to get to that point, and just a couple of things that actually made her character way more intriguing than I anticipated. Now, I'm not calling for any solo movie or anything like that, but maybe a Marvel one-shot of the Ancient One wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, let's move on to the bad.
The bad.
Now, as many of us have already known from some of the Marvel films, they do kind of suffer from mediocre to average type of villains. And this film was no exception, unfortunately. While Mads Mikkelsen's performance was fine, well, his character was a bit linear and one-dimensional the entire way. Rarely did his character ever seem to really challenge and push Doctor Strange into being a better hero. I don't think at any real point during the film do you ever really feel a sense of urgency like, oh no, he might actually win, or oh no, this is a really big deal. Now, the only other thing that I could probably say is a bit of an issue is just the fact that some things seem a little overly familiar. The film pulls from so many different other Marvel movies that you can't help but to notice the different parallels. Doctor Strange is Tony Stark, and Christine is Pepper Potts from Iron Man. The comedy of this film is very similar to that of Ant-Man. Doctor Strange's spiritual journey is very similar to that of Thor's journey in becoming worthy to lift his hammer. And it goes on and on and on. I'm sure you might find some more commonalities as well. But let's get on to the reason.
The reason.
I do think that Doctor Strange was a success for Marvel. It was a relatively safe film, even though it did try to push a couple boundaries. Parents, please be advised, there were a couple a-hole mentions and S-bombs dropped.
Language.
And I really think that the film was going for a very hard PG-13. Now, Doctor Strange set out with one purpose, and that main purpose was to really introduce the realm of magic and mysticism and all that, and I think it succeeded in doing so. So when it comes to the rating for Doctor Strange, I've got to give it a 9 out of 10. Now, I know I've said this before, so I'm going to say it again just so you really understand. The visuals are the best part of this movie. If you choose to see this movie in any other way except for IMAX 3D, just take 1 point off of my rating. Don't be that person that doesn't go see this in 3D and then think less about this film. If you've been that frugal type of person that hasn't gone to see a 3D movie in years, or you just don't like spending that extra kind of dough on 3D, this is probably the one movie in the entire year, you can make that exception for. By the way, there are 2 end credit scenes at the very end of the movies. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for joining me. I always truly appreciate you visiting my page. I appreciate those of you that share and comment on these videos as well. And as a special bonus, I think I'm gonna give away a couple Doctor Strange movie tickets, because yeah, I do want you to go see this movie. If you have seen Doctor Strange, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. And hey, you guys can connect with me on all these different social media platforms. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.